Well, join me this week as we put some bricks on that fireplace we're working on. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this is to do. Alright, so here's our fireplace as we left it last week, and it's had, the entire week to have the paint set up. So now we're going to prepare to put our bricks on. The first thing we are going to do is cover all this, the front and the sides, with gray paint that will kind of look like grout between our bricks. So I've got a little bowl here to put my paint in. I'm actually going to use the bottom of this, because I want to sponge this on. And I've got 3 colors of paint. These happen to be Storm Gray, Rain Gray, and Sandstone. I want to make this not all a solid color, because I don't want it to look like paint behind here. I want it to look like grout. I'm not going to add texture. I sometimes do, but that makes it harder to glue our bricks on when we come to that, so I don't want to do too much texture. So I just randomly grabbed colors that I thought would work, and I have a cheap makeup sponge, and I'm just going to cover and you can go darker or lighter. Our bricks are going to come a little bit further out than that, so it'll be okay. So I'm going to continue to paint this. So when I get it painted, I'll come back and show you what is painted and what it looks like, and then we'll go on to the next step. All right, so this is now painted on both sides in the front, and this just needs to sit off to the side and get completely dry. All right, now we are going to work on the bricks. Oops, there's some along there. And what I've cut, and I'll need to cut a lot more than this. This is going to take lots and lots of egg cartons, so get your friends to gather them up for you. So our full-size bricks are 1 inch by this way by 2 inches. And then I've cut a bunch of end bricks, and these are 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch. The measurements will be in the blog post, so be sure and go over there. And then we're going to paint them brick colored. I haven't decided yet if by the end if I'm going to be making these new bricks or old bricks. But I picked up a new bottle of Barn Red Ceramic Coat yesterday, and I'm going to do this on the bottom. It's easier to get to my paint when it's on the bottom. And got a brush, and we are going to paint. Now when your egg carton, you have 2 sides. Let me get out a full one. You have the inside, which has more texture, and you have the outside, which is smoother. We're painting the inside part of the egg carton. And we're going to paint not only the front, but the edges of all of these pieces. And yeah, this is going to take a while. I'll try to remember by the end of, in the blog post, I will try to remember when I'm done to count how many bricks I needed. Now we will have to do some touch-up, because we'll have to trim some bricks to make them fit in some places. And so then we'll have to do some touch-up painting for some of them. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to paint all the ones I have cut, and by the time the paint on these, and the paint on these has to dry all the way. By the time this paint's dry and the paint on that I just put on for the grout is dry in the fireplace, we'll start gluing bricks on. Alright, my bricks are all painted. I did 2 coats, and it seems to have covered all of the writing that was on the paper. I'm going to put these off to the side. I've got the little ones on one page and the big ones on this one. And I will undoubtedly need to cut a lot more, but I'll cut and paint as I need them. This is all dry, and start at the bottom and work up, and I'm going to start on a side, and then I'm going to do the other side, and we'll do the front last. There's a method to that. And I have my some more Mod Podge. So we are going to start with a whole brick. We're going to line it up here and here. Let's do a straight side. We're going to line it up with the bottom and with the front. And you want to make sure this first row is really lined up, and we might need to lay something on top of it to make them stay. Now we are going to have to trim at the back, and I have on my table, I had on my table until my cat got it, a jumbo craft stick. We'll see what that's for in just a second. So I am going to put a jumbo craft stick width of grout space. Now we're going to start with a small one, with one of these ones that's 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to line that up, put glue on it. Make sure that you're running the right direction so that you've got 1 inch tall. Again, lining it up with the front and against this jumbo craft stick. Now, a whole one. And if you get paint on the front, you'll have to touch that up later. I should have 2 of these. That's okay. And then another half one. I'm going to wait to trim these until everything is dry. Okay. Come on. Yeah, that's there. And that's there. I'm going to continue up, starting next row we'll start with a full one, and then the next row will be a half. I'm going to do the whole side, and when I get to the top row, I'll come back and show you how to deal with that. Alright, so this side is all done, it's glued, it's dried. Now a couple of these have wanted to pop off, and with those I just popped a little bit of regular glue under them. I've already done this side. I'm going to trim the back of this off just like I did this one. Just run your craft knife even with that back edge. And we're going to deal with the very top layer last, I think, because we'll have scraps of bricks left. So now we're going to do the front. Just like we did the back, we need to pay attention to where we are. So we're going to need a half brick. Oh, first I need my glue. I almost forgot the glue, so I need to get my Mod Podge out again. I have my paintbrush. I have a whole bunch of little bricks over here. I just put my paintbrush down. So we need a half brick, and try to make sure it's the same, that it lines up really well. Now, these are sticking past. We're going to line our edge of our brick up on the front with that. And make sure that it's really well adhered. And we can go on up the line. So this is a half brick on the side, so I'm going to start with a full one on the front. And you want to make sure, you may have to go back and put some glue in between there and make sure that that is really adhered. You want this edge to really stick. For that, we may have to put some glue in there after it's dried. Now, full one here, half one here. I'm going to go all the way up this side and all the way down this side doing the very same thing, and when that's all done and they're dry, I'll come back and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so I finished up the edges, and they're not perfectly straight, but you know, that's the way things go sometimes. I may pop that one off and fix it later. So now we're going to continue with our bricks. So we need a full-sized one here, and they're going to hang over a little bit, and that's okay. Wish that one was cut straighter. And I'm going to apologize in advance. I have been sneezing and my nose has been running all day. So hopefully I will not end up making any disgusting noises here, but forgive me if I do. And we're just going to continue. And remember, you're only using these half ones up to here. So let me finish both sides up to the top of the opening, and then I'll be back. Alright, so my other bricks are all dry and they're ready to trim, but we need to fill in this little spot. And we're going to leave the top area, I decided, until we put the mantle on. Because, truthfully, I don't know what the mantle is going to be. I haven't gotten that far yet. So I had to cut a few more bricks. These are 2 1/4 inches long because this space was off. I couldn't quite get it to work out with the 2-inch long bricks. So I cut out some 2 1/4 inch long by 1 inch bricks. And we're going to do a little, they're not going to be perfectly aligned, but they'll be fine. I'm going to put these in like this. Then what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll paint some of those edges black after we trim this. So we're going to put these in like this. Yeah, this project, because it's such a large project, I didn't make up one ahead of time. On my Dollhouse channel, a lot of times I'll make up the project and then I'll do the second one on video. But because of the size of the projects for this channel, I can't really do that on big projects. So a lot of these steps, you have to realize I'm making them up as I go. If you've got pieces that want to curve up, let it sit for a second and then push it down. If it doesn't want to stay down, then just set like a container on top of it, some cans from the kitchen or even some bottles of glue or something. So we're going to finish this off. My bricks are not completely straight. Like that one I managed to get on crooked. So when you do it, you won't be doing it in front of a camera and you won't be trying to get done really quickly for a video, so you can take your time. So I'm going to finish just these last few, and then when this is dry, we will be done for the, well, we're going to do some trimming and probably some, I think I'll do the touch-up painting after I get everything put together. The hearth and the fire and the mantle and everything on. And kind of adjust your bricks so they're where you want them, so they're fairly evenly spaced. I think I should have cut individual bricks to size for that part. We're going to come down a ways with the bottom of the mantle, so we may not even need another row of bricks. I haven't got that far yet. I have the hearth figured out. And that's about as far as I've gotten. It's as far ahead of this stuff as I am. I need to go to town and see what I can use for a mantle. Kind of slide these around a little bit, get them right where you want them. And we're going to call it good for now. I'm going to let this paint dry. When the paint's dry, I'll come back. We'll do some trimming around the firebox opening, and then we'll be done for this week. Alright, so our glue is all dry. These are all on tight. I'm going to do just a little trimming because I've got some that are sticking out. And that one is loose, so I'll have to glue it. Whoops, I cut in a little too far there. Well, we will, okay, we'll glue that back on and fix that. Let's fix these. Let me get a ruler. It'll be a little easier to keep this straight. See how much easier it is when you use the right tools? Yeah. Okay. And then I'll go back. I will touch up the paint here along this edge, probably with just some black. Actually, I think if I just put black on there, it will cover it up. So between this week and next week, I'm going to just paint some black along the very edges here to kind of blend that together. Next week we'll put a hearth on and hopefully a mantle, depending on if I can get to town between now and then, because right now I'm snowed in. So I hope you enjoyed our project this week. I hope you enjoyed putting the bricks on. Be sure and check the blog post. I think I've got an alternative if you can't get the paper egg cartons. I think I've come up with an idea. I'll put that idea in the blog post, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.